So the myth goes as such, you go, give it a little tap just like that. Hello, and welcome back to yet another adventure. Today is another day in the beautiful city of Medellin. Right now, we're actually passing over a place called Camino 13. I did a video on this previously, and really I wanted to show you guys this in that video, but honestly, filming took a while, so that didn't happen, but this is where we are going to start our journey for the day. So what exactly are we in right now? We're actually in what's called the Metro Cable, which is really just a gondola system. So this place was actually built in 2004, and basically what it was meant to do is you see all these homes down here. It was meant to allow the people living here and up in the mountains to have access to the rest of the city. It allowed them to be able to participate and really, get to their jobs, all that sort of stuff. Look at this. So it goes up into the valley and then down into another valley. This thing extends really far. All right, my friends, I am so excited to show you guys the city of Medellin, to check out all of these sites. It looks like the clouds are clearing up a little bit. So, on that note, the city of Medellin awaits us, and I will see you guys at our next stop. Oh, and so the price of one ticket for the gondola is around $2.50 or $3. But the really cool thing about it is that it lets you not only ride the gondola, but also the metro too. You can actually ride it as many times as you want. So you can take it from one side of Medellin, you can take it back to the other, you can go in circles, you could ride it all day. You might get hungry, but as long as you don't exit, that ticket is good for as long as you want. All right, my friends, we are in our next area. So this is the Plaza Botero. And Botero actually was an artist, so he made the sculptures like the one behind me. And he was known for making a lot of sculptures of the people look husky. Some say that they're more voluptuous, but you have all of the sculptures, all of them are husky, from the animals to the men, the women. Everyone was husky. People here weren't missing any meals. So this is a very touristy area. You have a bunch of famous sites. This place is also famous for its museum. So there's the Museum of Antioquia right here, which is the region of Colombia that we're in. Really what this museum showcases are works of art by local Colombian artists, as well as Botero. And off to this side, we have the Cultural Museum, which really just kind of displays Colombian culture generally, culture specific to this region as well. And check out this horse right here. I told you guys, he even portrayed animals as bigger, but this one doesn't look husky. This horse looks absolutely jacked. Check out this soldier right here. Obviously going with the theme, he's a little huskier, and obviously Botero liked to show the full anatomy. Notice anything different about his wiener from the rest of the body? As you can see, the rest of the body is a lot darker, of a bronze. The wiener is a lot lighter, and so there's a story behind that. So the story goes as such. People come from all over the place, and they give his wiener, a little touch, nothing too aggressive. And it's supposed to be that touching his wiener gives you fertility. You're able to have a family. So the myth goes as such. You go, give it a little tap just like that, and there you go. You're supposed to be fertile. Also, another interesting thing is that I don't think Botero intended it to be that way, but hey, who knows? Also, another thing I didn't realize was that Botero actually passed away recently. He passed away last year. I'd always thought he was older. He passed away years ago, but turns out he was, I think, in his 90s or something like that, and he unfortunately just recently passed. Okay, we have made it to our next destination. This entire area is dedicated to government buildings. So for example, off to this side over here, you have the mayor's office. Off to this side, this is just a normal government building. There's a number of people who hold various government positions. You see this white building over here? This one is all dedicated to diplomats. And you guys see this building right here? This is the courthouse. Over here, they carry out all the sentencing. So if you get in trouble, this is where you wind up. And my friends, trust me, you do not ever want to wind up here. And you guys see this monument right behind me? So this is called a monument for the people. And it has a really interesting story. And this is where our story begins. So this is the history of Antioquia, which again is the region of Colombia that we're in. And it's a tragic story, but again, this is the history of the place. So it all starts during the time period of the Spanish colonization. So here we can see the Spanish arriving on horseback, and it really shows the violence that ensued during this period of time. You have people suffering. Over to this side, you have someone being enslaved, you have the fighting. It really is a graphic demonstration of what went on during that time period. Once we get to this area, you can see where religion was brought in. You see the cross right there. And for those of you who don't know, most of Latin America, including Colombia, is Catholic. And so this represents where Catholicism was brought from Europe to this continent. And really the rest of this shows as time went on, Colombians won their independence, and then we reached the point of industrialization, which is marked by these train tracks right here, which is really important to this region because it allowed people in this area that were isolated at one point in time to be able to have access to the rest of the country. And as we see people climbing and scaling, we see the achievements and the advancements made in what's now modern day Antioquia. Okay, so there you have it, my friends. That is the story of Antioquia, which is all portrayed again in this monument behind us. That's incredible. This building behind me is called the Vasquez Building and is one of the oldest buildings in all of Medellin. And at one point in time, this three-story building here was actually the tallest building here. As you can imagine, only the richest of the rich were able to live here. And it's funny to see because now obviously Medellin is filled with skyscrapers, you have massive buildings all over the place, but once upon a time, this was one of the most expensive and the most premier buildings. Imagine that once upon a time living in a three-story building and you were ballin'. Man, people were like, yo, come up to my apartment. I got one of the best views of the city. I'm on the 3rd floor. And so, yeah, this was the place to be back in the 1800s. All right, so this structure at first sight, we don't know what this thing is, but this is actually a center where you can go talk to a psychologist. So right over here, you have the number where you can schedule an appointment, and it's really cool. So once you scheduled your appointment, you come around this side, boom, you can go, you have your privacy, and you can talk about really any problems that you're facing, which is something that I think is really cool that Medellin did something like this to help out its people and really give back to the local community. Oh, and the best part of all, these appointments are 100% free. So you call the line, you book your appointment, you show up, and there you go. All right, my friends, as we are en route to our next destination, I wanted to stop and show you guys this. So this is pretty cool. This is actually a walk called Carabobo Walk. And so what is this? This is a place where you can move around. There's a lot of shops. There's a church right behind me. And actually, I was told this is the second oldest church in all of Medellin. As you guys can see, there is a lot of foot traffic here. You have more sculptures by Botero, of course. It's a lot of commerce, a lot of different types of shops. You can find a bunch of different things here. There's a lot of food options. As you can see, it's a very crowded area. And on that note, let's keep the tour going. All right, so where we're at now is called the National Palace, which is a place that's actually really famous here. And as you can see, the architecture is absolutely beautiful. Let me show you guys. This is absolutely incredible. Check this out, the amount of detail. I was told that this place was originally a bunch of government buildings, but now it's been converted into a mall. And one of the things it's most famous for is the replica sneakers, but much higher quality, not the, cheap ones. Actually, funny thing, this place is also nicknamed the Sneaker Palace, just because of all the replicas and all these areas. You see nothing but shoes. Now we're on the top floor, and it's really interesting. So all of this is actually dedicated to art. So like behind me over here, let's check it out. So as you can see, there's a lot of art by famous Colombian artists. There's a variety of works here. Oh, look at this one. But the thing that's interesting is up top here, you have all of this area is dedicated to art. And these are all real works of art, by the way. These are not replicas. And below you have replica shoes and clothing. So, I mean, imagine that. You come here, you buy your shoes, and you can go up and get some art. It is a very interesting contrast. And we even have a rooftop over here. So in addition to checking out any art and going shopping, you can also check out this beautiful view of Medellin. Oh, and another really interesting thing that I was told about this place is that, so it wasn't this building, by the way, it was a different building. but this place used to be a men's prison. So there used to be a men's prison in the place where we're standing right now. And again, it was not this building, but it's interesting just to kind of see how things change over time and how things develop and the different use cases that areas undergo over time. Okay, y'all, we are now at a park called Parque del Rio, or River Park. Check this out. You have this massive river, and on the other side, you can't see it because of the trees, but there's an entire park area. Okay, you guys see this yellow building right in front of us? So they were telling me that this is the most famous telecommunications building in all of Medellin. And off to this side, we have another government building. So one interesting thing about this park is that it was designed in order to give people a way to cross the river. This is a massive street and the river runs a really long ways, and before people had no way of passing, well, other than swimming, which obviously is not very convenient. So what the city decided to do was build this pass. So it goes over from this side, over to this side. As you can see, easy access, and really just made things more convenient. One interesting thing that I was told is that here in Medellin, it rains all the time. It rains year round, and for that reason, the mountains are so green. Imagine coming here with your bike on a beautiful day like today. It's a nice place to really just get some fresh air, enjoy the views, and just kind of be away from the city. All right, my friends, this is where we're going to conclude our adventure for the day. I was taken to this place as a final stop, and it looks like it is way out in a different world, right? But actually, we're still here in Medellin. What they actually did was they built a replica pueblo. So this place is called Pueblito Paisa, which a pueblo is basically just a village. They built this pueblo so that people could experience the traditional Colombian village. So people who weren't necessarily able to go out into the country and experience a real one, they could still have the same experience, try typical foods. A lot of the restaurants here have traditional Colombian food. To make the replica all the more authentic, they included signs for a school, a barber shop, for example. Oh, and get this, they even included a church. Another thing I wanted to talk about is that the city of Medellin has so much to offer. I mean, we saw a glimpse of it in our tour, but this place is massive and there's just so much. There's the nature, there's the food scene, there's the culture, the history. And you have places like this, like Pueblito Paisa, that offer you a taste of what it was like back before the cities were built. There's just so much to explore here, so much to learn. It's honestly an amazing place. For the time that I've been here, the people are great. They're super nice, super accommodating. Everyone is so happy to teach you about their culture. I mean, it's been nothing but a beautiful experience, honestly. And with that said, I want to thank you guys for having come with me on yet another adventure exploring the city of Medellin. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, I hope you guys learned something new. I will see y'all at the next adventure. Remember to subscribe. A new video will be coming out soon. And until our next adventure, peace out, parceros.